Hey everybody, welcome. Thanks so much. Sorry for the small delay. I wasn't sure if we were going. We're going. Hey, hope all is well. Thanks for tuning in. Today we're going to be encouraging you and talking to you in the Word from the great mighty book of 1 Samuel. Real easy to find. It's right next to 2 Samuel. Now it's in the Old Testament. You've got Judges, you've got Ruth. There's 1 Samuel. If you get to the Kings, Chronicles, you're too far. Psalms, too far. Anywhere in the New Testament, too far. 1 Samuel is what we're looking at. Famous story, but what can we gain from this story? Well, here's something we can ask before we get into it. Whenever things are tough, whenever things look bad, I mean really bad, as a child of God, there's a couple of responses that we can do. We're going to look at 3 key responses. There's a lot more, yes, but we're going to pull out 3 out of this story. Let me set the scene for you, because even though it's back then in Israel's time, Bible times, it's same principles apply today. Things are bad. Things are really bad. Matter of fact, what's going on, Saul is the first king of Israel. He is not doing what God has wanted. He's wanting to run things his own way. He goes after the Philistines. Well, they start having some victories. The Philistines rally. Well, Saul rallies and he says, well, I've got 3,000 men. And they start going after him. Jonathan and his sons with them. The Philistines rally. They get men, chariots, and they say in the word, it says that they had more men than the sand. That's how many Philistines were coming after him. Go look it up. Not right now. So anyway, long story short, as we're progressing through, the Philistines start taking over and they start shutting down blacksmithing. They say the Hebrews can't make swords. If they want their plows sharpened, they come to us and we're going to charge them a lot of money. Yep, it's all in there. I'm not making it up. So it gets bad. What happens is this. Now Saul has got about 600 men out of his 3,000. The rest of them have fled, have jumped ship, have gone over to the Philistines. Some have been in the caves. And out of 600 men plus Saul and Jonathan, so 602, give or take, there's only 2 swords in the whole thing. Jonathan and Saul. That's how bad things are going to get. That's how they act right in our story. So the story is this. They're sitting around. They're kind of waiting. What's happening? Nothing. Now that's what we're going to look at. There's 3 responses we're going to look at today. This applies to you, Christian. No matter how bad life gets, no matter how bad you think things are, there's always going to be at least 3 responses you can do. There's always more, I'm sure, but 3 big ones. So we're going to go to 1 Samuel chapter 14 is where we pick the story up. I'm going to read just a couple of verses so we can progress through the story. I know we have a small amount of time on film. Go back and look at it. Look at the story. Not right now, we're talking, but this is a very important story. Chapter 14 verse 2 says this, and Saul, that's the king, was sitting in the outskirts of Gibesh under the pomegranate tree. The people who were with him were about 600. We're going to jump down to verses 6 and 7. Then Jonathan said to the young man who bore his armor, come, let us go over to the garrison of these uncircumcised. It may be that the Lord will work for us. For nothing restrains the Lord from saving by many or by few. And the armor-bearer said to him, do all that is in your heart. Go. Here I am with you according to your heart. So 3 responses. 1, you can sit around and wait for God to do something. Here's a little news flash. God's waiting on you to do something. You move and God moves. God's ready, but he wants you to be involved. You can be like Jonathan, said, you know what, I'm tired of sitting around. I know the God I serve is a great God. I'm going for it. Doesn't even know what it is, but he's going for it. And you have the other option. You can be like the armor bearer. You may not be leading the front, but you can jump in and you can support. You can be right there and say, I'm with you. So what happens? It's a great story. They do it. It's an incredible fight scene. And we go to verse 23. This sums it all up. So the Lord saved Israel that day. Here's what's going on. You've got to move. That's part of what God's saying. Move, Christian. Be active. Don't sit back and wait on God. Be the one who's going to go and do and be, because the grace of God is in your life. If you don't feel comfortable being that person, be the armor bearer. Go right next to the people who are going, doing, and being. Pray, support, encourage. Don't let them stand alone. Don't be King Saul sitting under the pomegranate tree waiting for things to get better. All right, be encouraged. Thanks so much for tuning in.